Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the first video of 2025. Happy New Year everybody. Hopefully your New Year has been great so far. I did spend a little time. As you all know, you've seen this body right here, if you can call it a body, this little frame chassis that I made. Now when I made this, I created this rail first. I applied it onto the actual vehicle. So when I did it, of course, the shocks were a little flimsy, but we quickly took care of that by starting to add in all our little structure pieces, which created a stiff frame. Okay, this is all styrene. That's it, just basically gluing. Well, not gluing. I used essentially an acetone to melt the plastic together. Once it's done, I mean, it's strong. Like, you can drop it. I've had tumbles with it. You can see some scratches and stuff up in here where hold on, let me turn the light a little bit, that'll help. Some scratches and stuff up in the top where it's rolled. This one's also rolled a couple times while we're testing. So love this. This is great. Decided I wanted to play with some stuff, so being able to slide the battery in the front definitely helped, but having the receiver in the back still created some weight back there, and high weight, right? So the idea was to change, and so this is the design that I came up with. So now the battery slides up in front here, so where we'll set this about where this is, so where the battery stops here, in here it was back. So about 3/4 to an inch. We can kind of see there. If I do that, actually it's more like 1.25 inches-ish. Maybe an inch. Yeah, about an inch. So that shift of weight makes a big difference. I pulled the battery much more forward. It's now at the end here, laying flat. And then of course pulled the receiver as far forward as I can, still allowing this. I could have actually, built a cab over, a straight cab. Let me move this. A straight cab, and pulled this up even further, but I didn't need to. So just pulling it up this much. Now the back end is extremely light. It definitely wants to turn over. If you go this way, you see it just wants to turn over and nose over right about there. But it will stand. That's fine. What I've got is a brass riser here for the rear links. It's got to bring them up a bit, and that brass will of course give some weight back there. I may change the wheels and tires, just depending. But what I want to show is this: with pulling everything forward and putting the weight of the battery down as low as I can and forward, what we get, and I'll try to catch this, it's going to tip over, but I'm just pushing it with my finger. That's all I'm doing. I'm not supporting anything. I'm just pushing. So it unloads about there. And as we keep pushing, there the back unloads. Just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. A little bit at a time. Again, I'm not doing anything other than just pushing a little bit at a time. Let's see where it goes. It's starting to go now. I can kind of feel it balancing. I almost feel like if I took my finger off, it would balance itself. There it is. So if you looked at that, I mean, that was up like this. That's just absolutely insane and crazy to be able to get that kind of thing. Now, it'll climb stuff. The problem that I have is that there's no weight down on these wheels, pushing these wheels into the surface. So while I've got no foams, you can see no foams in these whatsoever, these tires are not the greatest. So they bounce a lot, they skip a lot, and that bouncing obviously creates, when it's going up, it creates that chatter, which can push it up and over. So I think maybe putting some brass in here, that'll help create some weight that'll actually squish the tires a bit more. Maybe a little bit bigger tire. I'm not 100% that I want to go a bigger tire because I don't have much space to the fender. As you can see, the fenders that I put onto there. I put the fenders on just because when it was straight, it just looked like it just looked like it needed something, needed some shape. If I did this again, I'd probably widen this stuff and kind of narrow it, more like a comp truck kind of a deal. But this is, you know, again, it's just an experiment. If you do this, by the way, you can see here where all the holes are exactly the same size, so you have to put screws through them, including this, to put your links in. I realized that on the SCX24, the base one, now when you change frames, a lot of times they use the frame to lock in to a base, especially if you've changed your skid plate. A lot of skid plates don't have that little extra plastic like the SCX24s have. But because of that, I just drilled these holes bigger so I don't have to take the links out, because as you know, if you've played with these, that's a pain in the butt to try to get them back into those spots, especially with the axles and everything on. So what I've done is drilled it bigger so I don't have to do that. And because it's not a metal frame like this, or locked in like this, this is pretty locked, but you get a little bit of flexibility. What I'm able to do is kind of flex that out, and it comes over those screws. Now if I really felt I needed to, I could channel, you know, cut out down below, and then the whole thing will come up. But what that does is it keeps the whole chassis, wheels, links, everything together, and allows you to just lift the body up and off once you remove, of course, the shocks. Really simple, much easier to put stuff on and off. So that's my new system. I will be drilling these holes out so I can do the same thing, just pop it on. And the advantage to this is, you know, if I get tired of one body or I just want to play positioning with stuff, I can swap out a body in no time. You know, 8 screws and then putting it back together. So simple, so easy. Yeah, just to note here in the front, what I've done is I created a little lip. Hopefully, whoops, you can see this little lip right here. It's enough space that I can slide the battery up and in, and then that little lip keeps it from the battery from flying out. You can see how it's kind of catching there. So the downfall is when you got to remove the battery, I do have to put something up and in. I'm going to make a little catch bar or something to go up and in and just give me something to pull a little bit, and I can shimmy that battery right out, because it is a pain in the butt to charge it from the top. But there's enough space here to pull the receiver ESC combo out. Again, you know, just playing with things to see what's going on. Of course, you got the space for the motor, it's sitting down as low as possible. What else? I might upgrade this. The whole reason why I kind of keep this pretty stock is because it gives me an idea of what I can and can't get away with on the stock SCX24. So yeah, I think probably some new wheels and tires. Definitely tires, maybe not the wheels, but putting in a metal or brass ring is going to give me a lot more weight down. Having that riser and brass there is going to help give me some weight there. It definitely needs it in the back because the descent is awful on this. Really, it was awful even when it was an SCX, I mean a deadbolt body on there, and it was fairly stock. It's just, yeah, constantly wanting to tip over. So some extra weight back here. Hopefully we'll do that, keep it more planted. Some better tires. These are great in the dirt and stuff like that. I think they're BF Goodrich or something. I forget what they are. They were just my first tires, and they do okay, but there's obviously some better tires out there for it. Just got to spend some time and figure out what the next best thing is. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment on what your favorite tire is. I can't go too much bigger. I believe these are 50. Let's figure it out. Yeah, I was right. 55s. So probably not going bigger than a 6, maybe 6'2", to clear that fender. I don't have a lot of space. Probably a 6 would be the most, and then I'd have to trim up a little bit for rubbing. But yeah, these are great tires. I mean, great rims, wheels. I love them. They look great. They deep dish, so that widens everything out, which is really nice. But they are really, really light. Super, super light. Other bead locks on the market are beefier, heavier, give a lot more weight, and I think that's what it needs, is more weight down low. We'll probably paint them green too, just because that's what we do. We match things up. Obviously, I got to take the body off and paint it. Although I could say, hey, it's supposed to be white. It doesn't. This stuff, I'd have to paint the roll bars at the very least. But I'm going to do something on it. This all started from this. This was a base unit. I wanted to put the rear bumper back on to do the swing, so you could swing the body up, swing it down, and have it lower. But that's, of course, keeping the original metal frame. So as soon as I did that, I thought, this is crazy. Decided to try that 1mm styrene and cut a chassis so that I could actually change that angle. So being able to do whatever angle I want down at the bottom or here makes a huge difference. So if you could tell, I don't know if you can tell, but we definitely went a very bigger angle here just to see what I could get away with. Looks great. I love the way it looks. I love the way it performs. It's fun to watch out there. So anyway, I'm digressing. Let me get back to the point. Styrene, folks. This is all styrene. You can make your own dream, all that kind of stuff. Basically, I just started making drawings, right? There's the original drawing of it. Well, not the original, this is a secondary, but just drew up what I wanted. I did make a tracing of the chassis with the wheels, and then where kind of generalized where the points of the, all these little things started. I did take my base frame here because it's got the holes down on the bottom. You can kind of see where those holes are. I laid that down, and then it gave me the spacing and the line of those holes. So once I drew my angle, I just laid this on the angle, the bottom of this chassis on the angle that I wanted, hit those dots, and then that gets me in there. So again, I made these much bigger so I didn't have to take that screw out and that screw out. I also drilled the holes with the little pins a little bit bigger so it was easier for them to register, so that these two screws could get put in. Because you're a little bit off on those middle ones, it doesn't want to sit right. It'll bulge. You'll see it creating a dimple on the styrene, and it just disforms this whole thing, which is not what you want. So giving a little bit more space in there just allows you to have the screws line up and make it where it's at. But fun project. Very happy with the results. I'm going to paint this body. I'm going to paint this one. There's some flaws in it. You know, it's a little lean. This is not as the same angle as that. There's some. It looked like it, you know, took a crash and it bent, but that's fine. Again, this was just a test to see what's going on. I don't know if anybody's interested in something like this. Might do a giveaway if people are interested in that. And of course, I'll paint it up whatever colors, or you can paint it whatever colors you want. It's up to you. So let me know in the comments. Heck, if I just get one person that says, "Hey, I want it," you know, that'll be the thing. It'll just send it off. I'd like to get to at least 100 subscribers in this year. 100 would be nice. So maybe we'll do this as a giveaway when we hit 100 subscribers. Of course, I will sand this down and make it and prep it and everything so that you're set. Unless you just want it in the plain white with the little slash marks of where the glue goes. Anyways, that's it for this video. I just want to say you can do stuff. Oh, just a note. In the front here, I did have the steering linkage threaded area coming out, probably 2 millimeters sticking out, and it catches on stuff. So what I did was I took a couple of the O-rings and stuck them in the back here, and then put it on and just put it to where it's absolutely flush with the front, maybe just a little bit over, and left it there. So there's no slop or anything because of the O-rings, and that just prevents one more catch point for us right there. So that is going to do it for this. I've been trying to think of maybe putting a slide plate here. I don't know that those links don't just stay absolutely parallel to each other. That's something we're looking into. You know, I might just buy one that's pre-made if I find that it's rubbing. So that's going to do it for this. Go make this. Go have fun. You can do it. I do suggest playing with the stuff beforehand, figuring out, you know, how it glues, how long it takes, you know, making sure things are straight, sanding, cutting, all that fun stuff. There's a lot of styrene videos out there. Go look at them. It'll inspire you. But that's it. Go make it. You can do it. Have a wonderful beginning of this year, and we will see you in the next video.